Music City. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the Real Life Trading Stock Review presented by your boy, Jeremy Alexander Newsome, with another dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What's going on, folks, from around the world? Hope you're doing sensationally, beautifully, splendidly delicious. It is Monday. Had a losing day today in the day trading world. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a few moments. And then at the end of this video, it's day number 7 of the May Health and Wellness Challenge, which is 35 burpees. You will see me do those at the end along with a few shout outs. Let's talk about SPY. Now, what is interesting about this triangle is I was wishing and hoping to be the very first and only person who spotted this triangle, but that's just not the case. Which means it's going to make for a fun potential breakout. We have a support resistance right about here, and that's really based from that, based from that, based from that. With a triangle of this magnitude, if it does break out, it's going to get ugly. So it's going to do something like this. It's not going to make it simple, it's not going to make it easy, but it could be beautiful for some longer term traders or some option sellers even. Today's candle is a really important candle on the SPY. Personally, I think she goes lower and then just to trap everybody, and then we go higher. That's what I think is going to happen. That makes the most sense to me. It would be harder that way for everyone to trade it, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, right? I don't know the future. However, I do like this doji candle that we got today. I mean, realistically, it is 4 pennies away from a perfect doge candle. You got a little bit of a resistance. Here's your long-term moving averages. So if and when we break up, we'll probably hit the 100. Right, we failed the 100 last time with an evening star reversal. Trade up into there again, maybe pull back a little bit, get a little bit of a bounce like that. That would be really, really nice. But bottom line is the SPY, very obvious triangle. It's certainly consolidating. Here's the weekly chart. Exponentials look good. A lot of lower shadows the last 2 weeks, and the 50 is still propping up the SPY. Speaking of the 50 propping up something, let's go look at BABA. BABA on a weekly chart. Oh, man. Look at this thing bounce off of that 50 exponential on a weekly. Buy low, sell high. I mean, this 163 chart line has been on the BABA chart since about a year ago. So feel free to go back and look at any of those stock reviews with that support line on BABA. Wonderful buy low, sell high location. My good buddy Camilo snagged some January 19 calls down there, and today I mentioned one could consider selling some calls against a longer term position. You had some really good volume, a nice move, and this does appear that we got a double bottom on BABA. So we could roll back over and retest. That is certainly a possibility. We could also break out of this resistance and then get a retest, but this is a nice trend, good volume. However you're looking at playing, or I should say with whatever strategy you're looking at playing it, personally, I'm keeping an eye on a bullish perspective. I'm not going to play this one bearish. But I do like the move. I like the volume. I like the gap. I like the candle. Did not play BABA today, but I do like how it ran into that lower high, which I've had on the screen for a while. And my late Q2 target has been for a while 217.55. So we will see if we get there. Also, Apple on the weekly chart hitting the 50 exponential moving average on the weekly. And it's never done that before and bounced. I mean, it's really rare for Apple to interact with the 50 EMA and have some kind of directional move off of that. But it did happen just recently, and by recently I mean last week. And yeah, just a gorgeous bounce. So we hit another all-time high today. The unfortunate news is this is probably when a lot of beginners hopped on bullish on Apple. The reason I say it's unfortunate is because a lot of analysts, quote-unquote, stock market education people, gurus, whatever you want to call them, me's, the other people that do what I do, they teach this stuff wrong. They were playing the breakouts. I saw a lot of analysts playing breakouts, unfortunately, on Apple today, and it was just really way, way too high. White candles everywhere. So you had 5 white candles in a row. You had 2 retest gaps. Dividends is around the corner. You had an all-time high. All the reasons not to buy. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, oftentimes the best time to purchase is the most uncomfortable time to purchase. Buy low, sell high. When you're going to get in, the very few signals will be telling you this is the perfect time to buy, other than candles, maybe a moving average or two, and some support and resistance. Maybe volume. That's about it. Maybe 3 or 4 different factors. Other than that, if you wait too long for everything to quote unquote confirm, it's going to be a little bit too late. Remember, check out my video about confirmation. You guys will really like that. So what do I think Apple's going to do from here? Well, a few traders have some covered calls. Victor got into a really frothy covered call up there at 205 for July. I got myself one at 190 expiring next Friday. So realistically, just trying to time a dip buying opportunity. If Apple pulls all the way back to 175, consider yourself lucky, because that would be really pretty if it actually does that. Probably won't, but I guess you never know. That's what I'm looking for to occur. I would really like that to happen. Or just something like this, where we get 2 to 3 days of sideways movement, the hourly retest, and that's where you buy the dip. I think that's probably the most likely scenario. So here's the hourly chart. We've already bounced off the 10 EMA 2 separate occasions. So I'm thinking maybe you pull back to the 20 or a little bit lower to like 180 and then a bounce. I think that's the most realistic expectation. I missed Apple all day today, and I feel like an absolute pigeon on this trade, just missing this beautiful S-curve. Look at this retest. I mean, it is a retest gap, but that S-curve is flawless. Today was Mentorship Monday, so I slowed things down a little bit, did my absolute best to make a little bit more explanations. We did take some trades today, and I will share those in just a second. But that was a very, very nice trade. And then the second trade that I noticed was a fade, actually, a bearish fade. So some support here, right? Old resistance. New support, had a bullish candle there, bullish candle right there. You were below the 10 EMA and the 20 EMA. My short entry would have been right there, below the wick of that candle, and my stop would have been above that candle there. That would have been a beautiful 2-hour trade in about 10 minutes. And then this purple line on your screen was my line based on pre-market, before the market even opened. I mentioned if the stock pulls back to that level in the first 5 to 6 minutes, let's buy it because it is a retest gap. So this was the pre-market level. This is the breakout. You can see it retested it once and then just had a really good spring. And it did come all the way back down there 2 separate times and bounce off of that particular price. So I wish I had only left that open for that to transpire beautifully. Let's go look at the trades that we did take today and we did lose on. TSEM was one, and looking at hindsight, I still don't mind the trade. I should have flipped. It was a nice gap, but it was just probably a little too far down there. So the trend was already kind of bearish. So again, if you took this trade as well, it's okay. I mean, I get it. I can see why you would have taken it. I took it. Gap and go, right? White candle gapping down. A bunch of people trapped, but it just seems like maybe it went too far. It went from 36 to 22, and the other semiconductors out there in the world were actually trading higher, like NVIDIA and in AMD. And so the semiconductor industry was actually going higher. And TSEM, most people might have thought, well, it looks like this is a discount. So people were buying it at a low. Overall, I can see that in hindsight, but here's the 5-minute chart. And what I did was, when this 5-minute candle right here before market open closed, when that white candle came in and we broke below that support, I shorted the retest. So I got filled about 7 minutes into the trade right there. My stop was right here, and I was able to lower my stop. Once this upper shadow came in, I lowered my stop to there, and I got stopped out for 0.88 R. So I did lose less than an R. I'm usually pretty good at that. But once this broke bullish right there, that should have been a good signal to get in. The only unfortunate news is I just didn't have it on my screen. I just quit trading it. Just took it off my watch list and moved on to something else. The other trade that I lost on was FLR. And FLR, here is the daily chart. And I did my absolute best on this one, just didn't play out that great, I guess. Black candle, gapping down yesterday, aka Friday, was a huge gap. So I didn't play it on Friday, but figured if it continued today, some people would be excited about that. So here's the 5-minute time frame, and I originally had a setup to get in here with the stop right there. That was the original setup. But I was watching the chart closely, and intuitively around these candles, I said, you know what? I think it's about to have a little bit of a bigger pop. Again, that was just a pure intuitional play. It's one of those things that comes with experience. And so when this happened, I changed my entry to go bearish right here at the black line, and then put a stop right here. So that was pretty much my play on FLR. And when this candle came in, obviously I wasn't super excited when that one right there came in. Once this candle came in, I knew we were going to lose. This candle came in, this candle came in, lowered the stop to there, and then we got stopped out. And you can see it even went a little bit farther than that before it eventually kind of broke down. So did the best to short it at the right location. Guess the best wasn't good enough. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you lose. Losing and failing, two different things. We got to teach the young kids of our generation that you can lose a game, and that's okay. Because when you know what losing feels like, winning feels even better. So it's all right to lose as long as you don't fail. Failure is quitting, giving up, going broke because you ain't got no money left to trade. I did have a winning trade though on XRAY. So XRAY, this was a good trade. And here's the daily chart. And the daily charts, again, you had a white candle gapping down. It was a really good gap. So here's the 5-minute charts and the 5-minute time frame. Pull this over here. And I'm actually gonna, this is how I wanted to trade it. So bunch of buying came in, evening star reversal, a little bit of a pennant pattern, broke down. Once this candle right there came in, I said, okay, cool. Let's get up a pullback. So I had an entry there with a stop right there. That was my trade. So I'm looking for it to pull back, rotate all the way down to the low of the day. Once that did not happen, and we traded sideways at the low of this bullish candle right there, I set up an entry to get embarrassed below that low with a stop right there, and I ended up getting trailed out on that candle for about a 0.5 R gain. So gained 0.5 Rs on that trade, lost 0.88 and lost 0.82 on the other trade. So overall, about a 1.3 R loss on those out of those 3 trades. However, I did close 2 put sales today. So here's 3D printing, 3D, ticker symbol DDD, and 3D printing sold a put a while ago. I think I sold this put April 4th, maybe? April 9th? Yeah, it was April 9th. Sold a $9 put on 3D Systems for 19 cents. Was able to buy that back for only 7 cents today. So locked in a little bit of a gain there. And pets.com. So I bought back pets.com. Had a $30 put sale that expired in 2 weeks. Bought that one to close. Stephen King still has his. Here's the weekly chart. And I really honestly might end up doing that one again. Shout outs to the traders who trade pets.com. This is a brilliant Morningstar reversal on a weekly chart. So keep your eyes on this one. If you have pets and you buy their drugs on pets.com, you know, Pet Med Express, you could at least check it out. Last one, let's do 2 other stocks. These were by request. JD.com. Hi, I'm JD with JD.com. Love this Morningstar. Love the one white soldier candle last week. I've had a lot of analysis on JD to look to buy it into this level. You're going to be getting an article very soon about iChichi, ticker symbol IQ, and that's actually on the website for those who are watching this. If you want to get that early, you can check it out pretty quickly. But you go to the website, it's totally for free. Other people charge $400 for this, but you know, we're real life trading. We change the game, baby. So IQ, you can click that. But anyway, JD.com, I believe, is the 2nd or 3rd biggest internet revenue company in the world. Internet revenue, like purely internet. I mean, that's massive, and it's a very cheap stock, relatively speaking. So trade down. Here's my analysis from a bit ago, JD.com. Pulling it up, and pre-earnings, this was it right here. So April 3rd, this was the wave count on JD, and that was kind of my analysis of what I thought was going to happen, and then we're going to trade down a little bit farther into that level. And once the wave C is pretty much when it ends. So there's wave C, trade into that support, perfect time, good candles down here. So earnings right around the corner on JD.com, and earnings really will stipulate how this thing works. So far it looks good, but I mean, Alibaba is obviously a little bit of a competitor. Alibaba had great earnings, so we'll see what JD.com does, but I really did like today's gap, and I'll stay bullish on JD.com unless it opens below here. Otherwise, probably let it retest, let it bounce, but this is a buy low, sell high spot on JD.com that I like. And here's Visa, because Bunny requested Visa. Visa today is at an all-time high. You got a really nice retest gap here on the 26th, the day after earnings. So white candle gapping up. Gap action. Beautiful break above all of this resistance, broke above this bearish candle, broke above that, broke above blah, 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 new all-time high, right? So at that new all-time high, probably not the time to buy it, right? The highest it's ever been. So here's your previous old resistance, that's the new all-time high, and new support. So it's a retest gap, break, retest, continuation higher. Very nice. So Visa in a bullish trend. If you got shares, keep holding on to them. Visa long-term is a company that you probably just want to keep owning for a while. Dividends are around the corner. Looks good. I mean, just an absolute monster of a trade. And at some point, depending on your time frame, how many shares you got, your, how old you are, what you got in your portfolio, things like that, you'd probably want to consider a collar because Visa really hasn't had a substantial pullback in a bit. It did just consolidate though. So obviously this is some kind of wave 3, wave 4, and a little bit of a wave 5 coming in here. But again, longer term, covered call, protective put, just protecting yourself and give yourself a year worth of protection would make sense. But obviously Visa, longer term trade, they make money while they sleep. Everyone knows how they make money. Hard to bet against that right now. Anyway, that's my analysis for today. On to the burpees. Hey traders, and thanks so much for watching today's stock market review. At the end of today's video, I want to make this particular burpee exercise along with 2 shout outs. First and foremost to my good buddy Mark McCauley over there in Oklahoma, my trading partner, good friend of mine, exceptionally profitable real life trader. Thanks for the shirt, man. I appreciate it. It was a birthday gift and it says, that's what I do. I grow beards and I know things, which is technically true. I do grow beards and I do know like 19 or 21 various different things. The second shout out, I had a gentleman, Mr. M.G. Roberts, send me this book. He wanted me to read and make a review of the book. It's called Discovering the Pattern, How to Beat the U.S. Stock Market. So he reached out to me not too long ago and asked me for my address and sent me this book. So Mr. Roberts, thanks so much. I'm about 12 pages in. So far, I do like it. This book is about ETFs and seasonality. Those are the 2 things I picked up so far. And it is interesting. It's good for, I would say, the beginner trader and also traders who might be a little bit have a larger portfolio and want to sit back and relax and let it do its thing a little bit more. Only 12 pages in, so I'll give you more of a review when I finally read this whole thing. But Mr. Roberts, hey man, thanks for the free book, and yeah, I'll get it finished by Friday and I'll let you guys know in another video how it is. So, on to the burpees. All right, first off, for those in the YouTube land, thanks so much for sending me all the videos. You guys are doing an absolutely exceptional job. A lot of you send me videos of you doing the burpee challenge for the month of May, Health and Wellness Month, and that is superb. I'm here on our cul-de-sac and I'm gonna bust out 35 since it is May the 7th. So here we go. That's 5. So really quickly, the cool part about this challenge is it's gonna be about consistency. It's pretty easy right now for most of us. Some people have already given up, and that's okay, right? But for those who haven't given up, remember, this is gonna be a fun challenge. This is gonna put me out of my comfort zone because doing over 100 burpees is difficult. You're gonna see me sweating, you're gonna see me panting, you're gonna see me out of breath on camera, which almost never happens, but I'm gonna be doing that for you. I'm gonna do my absolute best to update every stock review with me doing burpees. So 5 more, here we go. That's 10. Now, here's what's cool. Right? Remember, you can break these up. You don't have to do them all at once, as long as you get them done. Slow, steady growth. Slow, steady progress. It's the exact same thing with trading, right? You have an obstacle, the only way to get over it, slow, steady progress. Now, keep in mind, I could also speed this up so that it makes it, over a short period of time, you see me do a lot of burpees. The reason I'm doing it this way is because some of you are watching it and I want you to do them with me. So we've done 10, we got 25 left, all right? And you're doing a fantastic job. We got 5 more. Ready? Here we go. All right, 15 done. So again, I want you to be doing these with me. Each burpee, if you're watching, if you want to do it on your own pace, and you're already getting it done, fantastic. But if you've watched this review, and you haven't done your burpees yet, rewind it, start with me, all right? So we've done 15, here's 20. It's 25, 10 more to go. We're gonna break it in increments. Small numbers seem easy, small numbers seem achievable. This is gonna help your cardio in ways you might not have ever thought possible. Great workout, slow and steady. Here we go, 10 more. All right, 5 left. Now, when we do the longer sets, we're gonna do water. We're gonna do a little bit of a longer rest in between. Deep breaths, hold it in, keep a pattern, steady. Here we go, last 5 for 35 burpees. The last one was a challenge, but we did it. Tomorrow I'm gonna do 40, and you're gonna see me Wednesday knock out 45. You guys are amazing.